Hello, my name is Ellen, and I am your host for this episode of the College and Career Readiness Podcast. Today we are joined by our special guest, John, the coordinator for the California Career Resource Network program at the California Department of Education. Before we start our interview, remember to take control of your future, join the California Army National Guard, and serve your community during local and state emergencies. You'll learn marketable skills, earn a paycheck, and get money for school. Contact Sergeant Aquino today at 916-233-7615. Hello.
Good morning.
So to start off the interview, I just want to ask, can you tell us what inspired you to create the lessons for your program?
Oh, gosh. Well, the lessons were kind of a later addition to all of the resources we created. So this program's been around since actually the late 70s in different formats. And we've always created tools like the California Career Zone that students can use. So and this may not be what you meant when you were thinking about lessons, but a couple years ago we created lessons for educators to use to help students use our resources, as opposed to just having a career zone sitting out there that maybe a student or an educator didn't know how to use. So we've created the resources to inspire young people to think about post-high school opportunities, and then we created the lessons related to them to help counselors and teachers use all those resources with students.
And then what does an average day at work look like for you?
Oh, it's so exciting in our cubicles there at the Department of Ed. So it actually really depends, because I kind of don't have an average day. If I have an average office day, I really am just mostly in my cubicle. And so it might be responding to email from teachers or counselors who are using our resources, or phone calls. It might be trying to update resources that we currently have. I work with two other people on this project. So we're always kind of revisiting resources we have available and the lessons we have available to think about how could we make them better and easier to use. But today's also kind of a typical day where I'm starting my morning here at Inderkum High School. I don't often get to work with students or meet with students, so this is way more fun. But I might start my day at a school site or meeting with a team of counselors. And then after this, I'll go into the office, and we're currently working on updating some of our lesson content. So we'll look at all of that. And then this afternoon, I have a meeting out of the office. So it's nice because it's pretty varied, even though a fair amount of it's just in the office on the computer.
So you're always going in and out then.
Yeah.
And then do you have any core values that motivate you to do this type of work?
Oh, gosh. Oh, that's a great question. Well, I think I grew up in a minister's family, grandson of minister, great. So there's this ministry track. And so I think my core value is trying to make things better for people. And some of my own experience led me to wish I'd gotten more help thinking about careers and opportunities. So a big driver for me in this work I currently do is to try to come up with ways to help young people get a handle on kind of career direction, to have a better idea about what to do after high school, because I just kind of meandered and tried a few different things. And I think, directions change, but I just think that notion of how can I help people find a good, satisfying life for them. And so it is kind of that notion of service.
And what would your number one tip be for students trying to get into a career like this?
Oh, a career like mine? Oh, I don't know if I'd have you do that. But I think my tip in general would just pay attention to what works, what you find interesting to do, where your skills fall. I actually changed careers at one point, and my initial career had a lot to do with what other people thought would be a cool thing for me to do. And I kind of, after I'd spent some time in that, I figured out that I hadn't paid enough attention to what my voice was. And so I think just taking some time to figure out, learning about, and we have tools to do this, to help you think about what am I interested in doing, what do I like doing, what am I good at doing, what would I like to spend my days doing? What can I get paid to do? And so that's kind of what our tools are all about. So really giving some thought about what's going to work for you.
Is there like any favorite thing that you have about your job or anything like that?
Oh, wow. I think my favorite thing is just that we've had this opportunity to create these resources that are all free for anybody to use. So I love going to events. I tend to, another part of my usual common day might be going to a conference and providing a workshop to teachers or counselors to just share with them about these tools that they can use that are free. And I don't think many people get the opportunity to share something that is very useful, very user-friendly, and free. And so I really feel blessed to have the opportunity to get to do that. I don't think many people get to have as much fun in the jobs they do.
Yeah, of course. That's all really good.
Yeah, yeah.
And then do you have any extra advice for anybody?
Oh, man. I think I think the advice is kind of what I already said. I think it's take the time to figure out who you are. And since I work in the career world, it's, who am I in relation to the world of work? I think the other extra advice, and I think this is where high school students don't always maybe have this in mind, take advantage of what in my world we call allies who are interested in helping you move ahead. And in this setting, your allies are counselors like Mr. Pugh, so take advantage of opportunities like he provides with this program. But other allies, it could be your English teacher you interact with well, or your biology teacher, or a different counselor, or even a vice principal. So while you're here, take advantage of noticing allies who all the adults here are here because they want all the students here to succeed and be successful in the future. So take advantage of reaching out to them and talking to them so they know what's going on with you and where you're trying to get to and how they can help. So I guess that also means ask questions in classes or wherever the opportunity comes up. If something isn't making sense to you, ask questions, engage, just do things so that the teachers and counselors know who you are. And then when you need help with something, there's somebody there on site who can be an ally.
And then if we have any further questions or anything, is there any way that students can contact you?
Yeah, I think the easiest thing for starters would be Mr. Pugh has my contact information. Mm-hmm. So as I said, I'm at the Department of Education, so have a state email address, and the office has a phone number, and so they can either reach out to me directly. And as I mentioned in the class this morning, if we'd love it when people, especially young people, are using our resources on all of our websites for student use. There's a feedback page, and so we love to get feedback that way. Just if there's suggestions for something we could add or do better. So I think for starters, either do that or just connect with Mr. Pugh. And I'm not sure exactly how he wants to kind of spread the word about getting interaction with us.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, you bet. Thank you.
And remember, respect, it's more than a word. In the U.S. Army, respect is earned every day. And now, in addition to earning respect, you may qualify to earn up to $40,000 in bonuses. Learn more at goarmy.com/bonus or call 1-800-USA-ARMY.